In the vastness of space, many races existed. Some had mastered the stars, while others were still trying to survive on their own planets. One of the most feared of these races was the Zelnash, a highly advanced and war-hungry species. They had conquered countless worlds and destroyed many civilizations. They thought themselves unstoppable. But there was one planet far away on the edge of the galaxy that they had never expected to become a threat: Earth. Earth, once thought of as a backwater planet, had been rising slowly. For years, the people of Earth had been working together, building their military might. At first, the Zelnash had noticed the rise of humanity's technology, but they didn't take it seriously. After all, humans were a young species. How could they compare to the great and ancient powers of the galaxy? However, the Zelnash had made one terrible mistake. They underestimated Earth's people. The military of Earth had been evolving at a rapid pace. They had faced many challenges, from political unrest to natural disasters, but through all of it they had learned to survive, adapt, and become stronger. They had developed advanced weapons, powerful spacecraft, and most importantly, a fierce will to protect their home. The regular armies of Earth, made up of men and women from all walks of life, had become a force that even the Zelnash feared. When the Zelnash first arrived, their ships filled the skies. They expected Earth's people to panic, to fold under the pressure of such an invasion. But what they didn't expect was the response they got. The Earth Army mobilized with an efficiency and determination that shook the Zelnash to their core. The first battles were small, scattered skirmishes. Earth soldiers, though outnumbered, fought with a kind of resolve that made the Zelnash take notice. The soldiers of Earth were not just fighting for territory or power. They were fighting for their homes, their families, and their future. This made them unpredictable, and it made them dangerous. The Zelnash began to lose ground. Their advanced weapons, once thought to be unbeatable, were outsmarted by the tactics of Earth's army. Humanity had the ability to improvise, to think on their feet. The Zelnash, used to dominating their enemies with sheer firepower, were not prepared for this. One of the first victories came when an Earth tank unit managed to ambush a squadron of Zelnash soldiers in the dense forests of Eastern Europe. The Zelnash had expected the humans to fall into the trap, but instead the Earth soldiers used the trees as cover and launched a surprise attack that destroyed the alien forces. It was a victory that sent a powerful message to the invaders. Earth was not going down without a fight. As the days passed, the Zelnash commanders began to realize the enormity of the problem. Earth soldiers were not like the others they had fought. They had an endless supply of courage and a deep connection to their planet. Even when their technology failed them, their will to win was unshakable. On the ground, human soldiers were working together like never before. Soldiers from different countries, cultures, and backgrounds fought side by side. It wasn't just a battle for Earth. It was a battle for the survival of the human race. Each soldier knew that their victory or defeat would shape the future of humanity. The Zelnash thought they could crush Earth's army with sheer force. But what they didn't know was that Earth's soldiers had been training for years, preparing for a day like this. They had trained in extreme conditions, from the scorching deserts to the freezing Arctic tundra. They were tough, skilled, and most of all united in their mission. Earth's military had also developed new strategies that the Zelnash were not prepared for. They combined their military strengths with the ingenuity of their scientists, creating new technology that used alien technology captured during skirmishes. Earth soldiers weren't just fighting. They were learning, adapting, and improving with each battle. Despite their strength, the Zelnash began to lose morale. They thought they could crush Earth quickly, but they hadn't counted on humanity's spirit. For the first time in centuries, they were facing an enemy that wasn't willing to bow down, that wasn't willing to be defeated. The Zelnash had never encountered an opponent like this before. In the war rooms of the Zelnash, the alien leaders began to discuss the unexpected resistance from Earth. One of the commanders, an experienced warrior named Zarlon, stood up in front of the others. "We underestimated them," he said in a low voice, his sharp features betraying a rare moment of fear. "They are not like the others. We cannot just defeat them with weapons. They are fighting for something we do not understand." Another commander, a veteran of countless battles, scoffed. "We have superior weapons. The humans are weak. Their armies may be strong, but they are no match for us." Zarlon shook his head. "Their strength is not in their weapons. It is in their will to survive. They are willing to sacrifice everything to protect their planet. We must be careful. If we are not, we will lose more than just this war. The conversation shifted to Earth's Special Forces, a mysterious and elite group that had remained hidden during the early stages of the war. The Zelnash had no idea what these soldiers were capable of, but the commanders knew one thing for sure. If Earth's Special Forces entered the fight, the situation could become much worse. While the Zelnash debated their next move, Earth's soldiers were not resting. They were preparing for the next wave of attacks. They knew that this was just the beginning. Earth's regular army had proven its strength, but now it was time to call upon their secret weapon. The time had come for the Zelnash to face Earth's true power, Earth's Special Forces. The air was thick with tension. The Zelnash forces, shaken by the unexpected resilience of Earth's regular army, were beginning to regroup and reassess their strategy. They had faced defeat after defeat, and their confidence was beginning to erode. The intelligence reports had warned them of Earth's growing power, but now they were seeing it firsthand. Their next move had to be perfect. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the atmosphere was different. The planet's leaders and generals knew that the battle was far from over. While the regular army had fought valiantly, the real test was about to begin. For Earth had one final weapon, its Special Forces. The Zelnash had no idea what was coming. The Special Forces unleashed them. Special Forces of Earth were a group of elite soldiers unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. Composed of the best warriors, tacticians, and survival experts from all over the world, they had been trained in conditions so extreme that most humans would have given up long before. They were prepared for any challenge, any terrain, and any enemy. But more importantly, they were united by a deep sense of loyalty to their planet and a determination to protect it at all costs. These soldiers didn't wear the same uniforms as the regular army. They were equipped with specialized gear, much of which had been salvaged from past encounters with alien forces. Their technology was a mix of Earth's finest and the best of what they had taken from their enemies. But it wasn't just the technology that made them formidable. It was their skills, their discipline, and their ability to adapt and innovate in the heat of battle. The first sight of Earth's Special Forces was like a shadow moving through the night. Silent, deadly, and precise. The Zelnash had only begun to realize the true extent of Earth's power when they encountered these soldiers. While Earth's regular army had put up a brave fight, the Special Forces fought with a skill and coordination that seemed almost otherworldly. As the Zelnash continued to push forward, they were met with an unexpected ambush. Earth's Special Forces had infiltrated one of their key strongholds, taking down an entire division of alien troops in a matter of hours. The aliens had thought they were safe, that the battle was nearly won. But Earth's Special Forces had different plans. They moved in the shadows, striking quickly and silently, leaving nothing behind but destruction. The Zelnash commanders could hardly believe their eyes. Their soldiers, who had once been the fiercest warriors in the galaxy, were now falling one by one to the humans they had once underestimated. The alien leaders scrambled to react, but Earth's Special Forces were always one step ahead, the turn of the tide. The Zelnash had long prided themselves on their ability to outfight and outthink their enemies, but they had never faced an opponent like this. The humans had been trained for combat in ways the Zelnash couldn't even imagine. They had been trained to survive, to fight, and to think in ways that allowed them to exploit every weakness of their enemies. The most terrifying thing about Earth's Special Forces was their ability to adapt. Every battle taught them something new, and every victory made them more dangerous. They didn't just fight, they learned from every encounter and used that knowledge to crush their opponents. One of the most notable missions involved a group of Zelnash warships that had begun to bombard a major city on Earth. They believed the humans would be paralyzed with fear, but they were wrong. The Special Forces were already there, infiltrating the warships from the inside. They used the alien ships' own weapons against them, turning the tide of the battle in an instant. The warships, once the pride of the Zelnash, were now burning in the skies above Earth, their destruction a testament to the Special Forces' skill and ingenuity. As the battle continued, the Zelnash found themselves being pushed back further and further. Earth's regular army, reinvigorated by the actions of the Special Forces, fought harder than ever. The enemy's morale began to collapse, and the Zelnash commanders realized that they had underestimated humanity in the worst possible way. The final confrontation. The Zelnash leaders knew they had to act fast. Their entire invasion depended on overwhelming Earth's military forces before the humans could fully deploy their special forces. But it was too late. Earth's elite soldiers had already taken control of the battlefield. The time had come for the Zelnash to face the humans on their own terms. In a final, desperate move, the Zelnash commander Zarlon ordered an all-out assault on Earth's capital city. This would be their last chance to break the human resistance. If they could destroy Earth's leadership, they could crush the will of the entire planet. But the Zelnash commanders had one fatal flaw. They didn't know what they were up against. As Zarlon's forces descended upon Earth's capital, the special forces had already anticipated their move. A fierce battle erupted in the heart of the city, but it wasn't just the Zelnash who were fighting. Earth's special forces moved through the city like shadows, striking when the enemy least expected it. They used the city's landscape to their advantage, setting traps and ambushes that tore through the Zelnash lines. In the heat of battle, Zarlon finally came face to face with a group of Earth's top special forces operatives. These soldiers were everything the Zelnash feared: fast, clever, and ruthless. They moved with a precision that the aliens couldn't match. Zarlon, with all his experience and power, found himself overwhelmed by the humans' relentless assault. They had learned everything about his tactics and had turned his own strength against him. The final confrontation was short, but brutal. Zarlon, though a seasoned warrior, found himself outmatched. Earth's special forces had studied every move he made, and they used that knowledge to dismantle his forces piece by piece. In the end, it was the Zelnash leader who was brought to his knees by a soldier who had nothing but his training, his will, and his belief in protecting Earth. The end of the invasion with Zarlon's defeat, the Zelnash forces began to crumble. Earth's special forces had shown the invaders what it truly meant to be outmatched. The Zelnash had underestimated the humans, and now they were paying the price. The humans didn't just win, they sent a message to the galaxy. Earth was no longer a backwater planet. It was a force to be reckoned with, and anyone who dared to invade would face the full wrath of its people. As the dust settled and Earth's special forces emerged victorious, the Zelnash forces retreated, leaving Earth behind in defeat. But even in their retreat, they carried with them the knowledge that Earth had become a new power in the galaxy, one that would not be so easily conquered.